You're watching Mashindo's hometown station, HTV1.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
From Mashindo's news leader, this is HTV1 News at noon.
Well, while some portions of the country are seeing coronavirus spikes due to early reopening, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio have remained relatively steady across the same time period. Well, good afternoon, Mashindo. I'm Scott Pienta. Well, let's start right with Branch County, where aside from the Marana, the farms testing over the week ago, there have been no major increases in the case count. Now, that remains at 236 confirmed cases, 14 probable, and 2 deaths. Hillsdale County also unchanged at 172 confirmed cases, 12 probable, and 25 deaths. Lenawee County reports 164 confirmed cases, 138 of them recovering, and 6 deaths, along with 35 probable cases. 34 of them are recovering, and no deaths in that category. Overall, the state of Michigan now reports 61,230 confirmed cases, 5,846 confirmed case deaths, 6,481 probable cases, and 244 probable case deaths. Now they also have 290 recoveries overall. While Steuben County reports 109 confirmed cases and 2 deaths, Indiana has 42,423 cases and 2,350 deaths statewide. Williams County remains at 43 confirmed cases, 15 probable, and 1 death. And down in Fulton County also holds steady at 52 confirmed cases and 1 probable case and no deaths. Well, Ohio is reporting 44,808 cases statewide with 2,700 deaths. Well, taking a look at the calendar, well, the choice of whether or not to put on the fireworks show is down to its last opportunities this week, and a few more committees have made the call. The City of Coldwater has decided to continue as planned with the added request for social distancing. The show will take place as normal on July 4th at Heritage Park, starting sometime between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Parking will be available at the dog park, the Little League fields, the splash pad, the aquatic center, and both the middle and high school parking lots. The Bryan Times says that the Bryan Chamber of Commerce has rescheduled the day in the parks event, including the fireworks show, to August 22nd, hoping that the Ohio will lift restrictions on mass gatherings by that time. Well, Pioneers fireworks will take place on July 11th in conjunction with the 7th annual Caleb McLaughlin Ride to Remember an Oregon Donor Awareness Day. Now that will start at dark at the North Central Local School campus. And Wauseon has decided to postpone their fireworks show due to statewide restrictions. Now that would have taken place on July 3rd, and city officials still plan to hold it at a later date, but they won't be able to set one until they know the restrictions will be relaxed. The Williams County Agricultural Society has officially approved the decision to move ahead with the Williams County Fair in September, with most of the adjustments that were under consideration last week. There will be extra hand sanitizer stations around the fairgrounds, some one-way traffic flows through the buildings, social distancing requirements, and 50% seating in the grandstands. The demolition derby and truck pulls will still be held, but the combine derby is under further review for the moment. Harness racing will still take place, but there will be some restrictions. Rides and food vendors will be there as usual. There will be free entertainment stage on the Midway, and there will be exhibits in the Gillette building. Now, the Fair Royalty program will also go on as usual. Board President Matt Kennedy told the Bryan Times last week that he expects the state's restrictions to be relaxed by fair time in mid-September, but there's no word on whether or not the board will change plans to reflect if that happens. Meanwhile, the expositor says that the Fulton County Fair will be limited to only junior fair events this year. While the fair is scheduled for early September, input and guidance from the health department, the county commissioners, and the county sheriff have led the fair board to determine that they cannot welcome the regular crowds and keep everyone safe. The full details of the junior fair are yet to be determined, but it will be limited to youth animal exhibitors and their immediate families. At the same time, the board is already looking forward to planning the full fair for next year, 2021. The coronavirus pandemic has only amplified the need for blood donations, and the Daily Telegram says that you could do your part to help to several blood drive events across Lenawee County in the next couple of months. Well, the American Red Cross is kicking off the effort on June 29th from 11 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. at the Element Church on Jefferson Street in Blissfield. On July 26th, they'll be at the Masonic Church on Maple Avenue in Adrian from 11 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. Well, they'll be at the Bixby Hospital's Merlot Center at Riverside Avenue on July 31st from 9 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. And then on August 17th, they'll be at St. John's Lutheran Church on Adrian Highway from noon until 5:45 p.m. Well, you have two choices on August 20th. Well, you can either donate at the Blissfield American Legion Hall on August 20th from 11:30 a.m. to 5:15, or you can go over to the Christian Family Center on US 223 in Adrian from 11 a.m. to 4:45. And finally, on September 11th, the Red Cross will be at the Lenawee County Fairgrounds from 10:30 a.m. to 5:15 p.m. Well, those dates and times are subject to change, and if you plan on donating, you'll have to pre-register at redcrossblood.org. All Red Cross blood donations are currently being tested for the novel coronavirus antibody, but not the virus itself. If you feel ill, you should not donate. Bronson High School has announced its plans for a whole slate of events surrounding graduation. WTVB says that the festivities will kick off with a parade through the city on July 15th at 9 a.m., followed by graduation practice. The commencement itself ceremony will take place that next night, July 16th at 7 p.m. at the football field. Each graduate will be allowed to have 4 guests, and for anyone who cannot attend, the ceremony will be streamed live on the Bronson Community Schools Facebook page. The Fremont Community School District is putting 2 ideas out to the public and the experts for input, or for or against on how to hold classes in fall. The Herald Republican says that the district sent out the letter with a look into the draft plan that was put together using state and federal guidelines. The first scenario has a school year starting without traditional classroom education, but the capability to quickly shift back to e-learning if there is another coronavirus outbreak. The second would basically be the opposite, starting with e-learning in the fall and transitioning back to the classroom setting when conditions allow for it. In the letter, Superintendent William Stitt says that the district understands some families will want to continue in-person classes while others will be more comfortable staying at home. He adds that it is still a very fluid plan that could change quickly, and the district will keep the public informed as more guidance and procedures are made known. Well, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is scheduling to announce safety rules for schools reopening on June 30th. The Associated Press says Governor announced on Wednesday that K-12 schools will be allowed to reopen in the fall as long as the state's successful containment of the coronavirus doesn't falter. The My Safe Start plan includes allowing schools to reopen at a phase 4, which all of the state is already in or has already surpassed. The rules will set minimum health and safety requirements, but districts will be allowed to set stricter rules if they find it necessary. Schools can also choose to start before Labor Day or adopt a year-round academic calendar for the 2020-2021 school years. Whitmer has also extended the state's emergency declaration until July 16th. The previous declaration has been set to expire this past Friday. Well, speaking of education, that sector has not been cut in the effort to trim back Indiana's budget. Well, WLKI said that there will be actually more funding for education in the update. Governor Eric Holcomb said last week that he's committed to making education a priority in his administration, shifting $183 million in additional funding to the schools. The state has previously asked schools to look for ways to cut back, but Holcomb stepped in to retract that request. Additional CARES Act funding will also contribute $192 million to education in the Hoosier State. A federal judge has ruled that gyms in Michigan must be allowed to reopen on June 25th, overruling Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive order to keep them closed. According to WTVB, Grand Rapids U.S. District Judge Paul Maloney granted the preliminary injunction on Friday at the request of the Industries Group and 22 gym companies. In his ruling, the judge said that Whitmer's side was unable to provide evidence that keeping gyms closed would preserve public health. The governor plans to file an appeal, and spokesperson Tiffany Brown says that the court is playing a dangerous role in second-guessing data-informed decisions that the governor says has saved thousands of lives in Michigan. But Judge Maloney says when he asked to see that data, the Whitmer administration vaguely stated that the indoor gyms are a petri dish of infection. The gyms that choose to reopen on the 25th must still follow workplace safety requirement laid out in the state's standing executive orders. Voters in Ohio will still be joining their neighbors in Michigan in receiving absentee ballot requests without having to ask for them. The Bryan Times' Secretary of State Frank LaRose made that announcement last week. The mailings will start around Labor Day, funded by about $1.5 million given to the state in the CARES Act. LaRose anticipates that roughly 50% of the registered Ohio voters will vote by mail in the upcoming election. Well, along those same lines, the Williams County Board of Elections is considering a 5-year lease for a new machine and software for absentee ballots. The new absentee equipment would scan about 500 pages per hour, allowing what is currently a day's worth of counting to be done in about 2 to 3 hours. Now, that would cost over $78,000 paid for with the existing state funding set aside for equipment purchases. No decision has been made yet, but the board is expected to take it up at their next meeting. Well, still to come, city officials say it would take a full hazmat suit to enter the Adrian Mall safely. We'll tell you why it's been condemned. And the Coldwater woman is found dead following a devastating crash near Bronson. Back right after this.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
Well, the Adrian Mall has been condemned, and City Attorney Tamaris Hennigan says it is entirely unsafe at this time. The Daily Telegram reports that not even tenants are being allowed inside the building since the closure was announced last Tuesday. An inspection in March showed structural issues stemming from a leaky roof and water damage, but the mall's owners pulled a permit to fix those issues on the last day possible, allowing the building to remain open. Small repairs to the roof had taken place since then, but another inspection this past Monday showed that they were not done professionally, and they only made the problems worse. Inspectors who walked on the roof could hear the underlying components breaking underneath their feet, and mold was found growing halfway up some of the walls, along with even more significant water damage. Well, the damage includes electrical issues revealing by burn marks and arcing, creating a fire hazard. There were also evidence of natural gas leaks, fire alarms being eroded out, bricks at risk of falling, and other debris around the exterior of the building. And if all that wasn't enough, well, there are broken floor tiles throughout the mall's concourse that may contain asbestos. Hennigan told the newspaper that the mall is completely unsafe for human habitation, and it would take a full hazmat suit to enter the building safely. The city has granted the mall another 43 days to make the necessary repairs due to the pandemic, and Hennigan says it appears that the work was being done right up until the Michigan stay-at-home order was issued. Now they'll have until July 31st to correct the problems, including an entirely new roof and insulation, fixing the mold problems, installing new floor tiles, air quality testing, inspections of all alarms, HVAC and utility systems, and removing all debris. The mall's owners will be required to show contractor and manufacturer certifications. Hennigan says that the building is physically salvageable, but the financial burden may be too much, and it's unclear right now what the owners plan to do. At least a dozen businesses are now displaced. Many of them just started out and are locally owned. Now, Dunham Sporting Goods and Hobby Lobby remain open, and their structures are intact. And the Hobby Lobby building is owned by a separate company from the rest of the mall. Well, Angola police say counterfeit money has been spotted in the area. A press release issued last week says that there has been an increase of reports of fake currency in several denominations, and they're urging both residents and businesses to be careful. Chief Stuart Hamblin says that if you doubt the cash that you're being handed is real, well, don't accept it and ask the customer to use a different payment method. If you come across the counterfeit bill, well, you should call your local police and provide any information you can to identify that culprit. In Angola, the non-emergency number to call is 260-665-2121. Well, one woman is dead and several other people were injured in an accident in Bronson Township last week. WTBB and WLKI and the Daily Reporter say that the Michigan State Police have not yet identified those people by name, but here's what we do know. It happened around 5 p.m. Thursday at the corner of US 12 and Deer Park Road. A southbound minivan had stopped at the intersection before turning into the path of a westbound SUV, causing a collision that shut down the highway for 4 hours. Well, eyewitnesses say that they heard a loud crash and saw a man staggering from one of the vehicles before falling near the roadway. Bronson firefighters had to use the jaws of life to get the people in the van, get the people of the minivan out, including a 38-year-old Coldwater woman who was pronounced dead at the scene. Her 42-year-old fiancé was also in that vehicle. Another patient was airlifted from the crashed site, and another was taken by ambulance to Sturgis Hospital. Well, 2 children were reported to be in one of the vehicles, and one of them suffered serious head injuries. We also know that the SUV was registered to an address in Vicksburg. Now, that crash is still under investigation. A Fulton County child is at Toledo Hospital after running into the road and getting hit by a pickup truck. Well, the Village Reporter says it happened around 7:50 Thursday night on US 20 near County Road 4.1 in Amboy Township. 61-year-old Angela Williams of Toledo was westbound when the 10-year-old boy ran out into the road and was hit by her truck. The boy was airlifted from the scene. Williams was wearing a seatbelt and was not injured, and authorities say impairment was not a factor. The crash still remains under investigation. A Branch County motorist was involved in a Cass County crash over the weekend, but he wasn't injured. WTBB says it happened around 7 p.m. on Saturday. Now, one man was turning into a parking lot but didn't see an oncoming traffic because his son was in his eyes. The vehicle that hit him was driven by 37-year-old Ryan Johnson of Bronson, who also had 46-year-old Tanya Deer, 15-year-old David Deer, and 2-year-old Aria Aradonado in the car with him. Now, they were all checked out at the scene and released. The other driver, 46-year-old Earl Horner, wasn't so lucky. He was taken to Elkhart General Hospital for his injuries. We don't know his condition at the moment, and authorities say that all appropriate safety devices were being used at the time of the crash, and they do not suspect drugs or alcohol. Well, a deck fire led to a complete destruction of a Lenawee County home last week. Well, the Telegram says it started around 6 o'clock Wednesday evening at the 5100 block of Sand Creek Highway in Madison Township. Well, firefighters arrived to find the blaze at the back of the home had spread throughout the rear up to the attic, and they quickly worked to contain it. But it apparently wasn't entirely out when they left, because they were called back around 4:20 Thursday morning after it rekindled. That time, the entire house was burning, causing the roof to collapse and crews to tear down the multiple unstable walls to get the hot spots. Now, firefighters remained on the scene until 8 Thursday morning. One resident was taken to an area hospital with burns to their hands, but there were no other serious injuries reported, and crews were able to recover some valuables. Otherwise, the home is a total loss, and the American Red Cross is helping the residents. Officials aren't sure what sparked the blaze, but they say it was not suspicious in nature. Well, some $15,000 worth of fire damage was done to a Coldwater home over the weekend. Now, WTVB says that the home on the 100 block of South Jefferson Street caught fire around 4:15 Sunday morning. Well, flames were coming from the first floor window when crews showed up, and the occupants had escaped from a second floor window. Firefighters got the blaze under control less than 15 minutes later, with the worst of the damage being done in the first floor family room. Officials believe an improperly used electrical cord was the cause of that fire. Now, there were no injuries, and the crews cleared the scene just after 5:30 that morning. And Williams County Deputy Sheriff is being credited with preventing what could have been a major barn fire just before the weekend. According to the Bryan Times, the Edgerton, Bryan, and Montpelier Fire Departments responded to the call on County Road 5.75 just before 2:30 Friday morning. Edgerton Fire Chief Scott Blue says the two big piles of straw and some 12 by 12 floor joists were burning, and it didn't take long for them to put them out, though the cleanup took until about 5:30 that morning. Blue says the barn is dilapidated from age, but it was one of the biggest barns in the area when it was built, and the newer barn nearby likely would have burned down as well if it hadn't been for the deputy calling it in as quickly as they did. It's unclear what started that fire, but the owners told the firefighters that he had a small burn pile of dead grass nearby that evening prior. Well, after the break, a man was arrested for stealing coins from a local laundromat. Plus, a Coldwater man is now in prison on child sex charges. You're watching HTV1 News at noon.
The Saucy Dogs is the name, and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Does your vehicle sound like a tractor putting down the road? Then you need to see the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. They will give you a free estimate along with first-class customer service. They custom make any exhaust needed for your vehicle. Stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound, or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
Well, Michigan State Police are investigating a break-in that took place almost 2 months ago in Coldwater Township. WTVB says it happened on the 300 block of Ted's Drive at some time between 4 and 7 p.m. on April 20th. Well, items stolen included a DeWalt impact drill, 2 rechargeable chainsaws, a Samsung tablet, and black Xbox with 1 controller. If you have any information, you're asked to call the MSP Marshall Post at 269-558-0500. State police have also arrested a man accused of stealing quarters from a quarter machine at the Union City Laundromat this weekend. According to WTVB, the incident was called in by the laundry station around 5:45 Sunday morning. Troopers found the man and arrested him, recovering the stolen quarters, and found other items in his car which they believe were also stolen. The suspect is being charged for larceny, breaking and entering in coin machine, meth possession, a weapons offense, and receiving and concealing stolen property. If you have any information about the other stolen items, we're asked to call the MSP Marshall Post, again, 269-558-0500. A man was listed addresses in Angola, and Marshall is facing charges once again for Branch County after leading police on a multi-county two-state chase 3 months ago. A Daily Reporter says that this all started March 18th when an undercover officers in Kalamazoo tried to arrest 31-year-old John Snook based on the informant's claim that he was selling weapons. Snook was spotted by Michigan State Police on I-94 before speeding off and getting on I-69, leading the MSP Branch County deputies and Indiana authorities on a chase that reached speeds of over 100 miles an hour and never slowed down below 80. Tire puncturing devices were used to stop the vehicle just before the toll road interchange, causing it to roll a substantial distance. In both Branch and Kalamazoo County, Snook is facing charges for fleeing police, as well as possession of a pistol, a rifle, and brass knuckles. He is also facing additional charge of possession of weapons by a felon and 2 counts of firearm possession while committing a felony. Snook is currently in the Kalamazoo County on $75,000 bond. In Branch County, his bond has been set at $50,000. Now, he has previous convictions in Branch County, including meth possession and fleeing police in 2014, for which he pleaded guilty and received 2 to 5 years. He also served time in Steuben County in 2011 for meth possession, fleeing police, and reckless driving. Well, Snook appeared by video in Branch County Court for arraignment 2 weeks ago. Now, he's scheduled to appear again on June 30th. A Coldwater man has been sentenced for sex crimes against underage girls. WTVB says 31-year-old Michael Kunkel pleaded no contest in Branch County Circuit Court to 2 felony counts of accosting children for immoral purposes and a misdemeanor charge of indecent exposure. Kunkel took a plea deal that dropped charges of second-degree criminal sexual conduct and aggravated indecent exposure. Well, he was charged in February after a Branch County Sheriff's investigation dating all the way back to last August. Now, the 3 alleged victims were all under the age of 12. Now, Kunkel will spend 14 months to 4 years in prison with credit for 119 days already served. Well, Michigan bars are at 50% capacity right now, and you'll have another local one to visit soon. We'll tell you all about it right after this.
El Cerrito's variety-packed menu has something for everyone. With generous servings and lots of flavor, you'll think of it as a fiesta for your taste buds. Dine in or carry out at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Well, finally today, the Kerr Building in downtown Coldwater has a new tenant. WTBB says the 2 Bandits Brewing Company of Hicksville, Ohio will be opening a brew pub at the corner of Chicago and Hanchett Streets. Now, the co-owner Mark Young says that the building is perfect for the plans he and his partner Bob Garza have, both because of its layout and its historical significance. It's also close to the Tibbetts Opera House, and Young says it should fit in nicely as part of the ongoing revitalization of the city's central business district. It's the second location for the ownership team, and they plan to bring the same old world feel found in Hicksville to Coldwater, complete with Navy and motorcycle memorabilia and local beer distribution. Well, those are today's top stories. We'll see you right back here tomorrow for HTV1 Knows at noon. Don't forget, you can find more of our live streams and news right here at 24/7 at htv1.net. And don't forget our new channel, our online subscription channel. hmnracing.com. You can go there to catch our the Great Lakes Super Sprint Series, as well as the traditional sprints and the Lightning Series. You want to check that out? We have that available. Go on to the hmnracing.com. Well, for all of us here at HTV1, I am Scott Pienta. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and have a great day, everyone.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.